This house being the house right now.
Welcome everyone. Welcome Mr. Ohazurike, our facilitator for today.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, Miss Fortune. Welcome to today's session. And I had shared the link already to the students, the participants. So let's await as they come in. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome, everyone.
For you will always stand. Just do it in your splendor, we are.
Welcome everyone. To those of us that are just joining, welcome to today's class 5, and the second to the last training for the Beta Farmers Training Project. Welcome, sit tight with your microphone. Make sure your audio is set and ready. Ensure you are seated and settled for the session. Avoid the form of distraction. Reach out to your fellow Beta Farmers. Call them at the end of the class. Get the lesson pen and paper and sit tight. Our facilitator is already with us in the call, so welcome. And we are live on YouTube also, so if you also want to join us on YouTube, feel free to join us. We have a viewer on YouTube. Welcome. Please, as you could just say hi in the chat box, say hi in the live chat. Welcome.
Michael, which uniform you wear?
Love for you will always stand. Make you feel your love in your splendor. We are bound. We come from colors like the future. Unity in every size. On your beauty we are proud. From Sahara to Cape Town, every place where you're from, you can see in every sense. In your beauty we are proud. From Sahara to Cape Town, every place where you come, love is so never found. Africa, our hearts so.
Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, can you just
Yes, good evening.
okay? Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, just say hi, or you could say
Good evening.
good evening, good evening, good evening, Stella, good evening, Henry. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are we doing? My name is McDonald, and I'll be the moderator for today. So let's see type and learn. So welcome to day 5 and 25 of the Better Farmers Training Project. Welcome to our participants on YouTube. Just say hi in the chat box, in the live chat rather, if you can hear me very, very well. So on this call, we are privileged as always and before to have our facilitator join us. Can we all clap our hands together for our facilitator? He has been so consistent, both of them, they have been so consistent in joining the call early. Can we put our hands together for him? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So today is day 5, and we're getting closer to the end of the training. And like we know, we normally have best close to the end. Most of us that grew up in the village, any part of Nigeria you grew up in, and you grew up in the village, you always know that the once more finish cooking and you finish fishing out different people. The the down part of the fort is the sweetest part. If you can compare that with the can you just say something? If you can compare that the sweetest part of the food is the down part that is remaining. So we're getting closer to the down part of the food. We're getting closer to the down part, I will say the bottom part of the Better Farmers Training Project. So this is a time when you should clear your schedules and ensure that you are able to join all the training we have today and Saturday. Saturday will be the very last day of training, 6th November 2025. Without much ado, I'll go straight to the announcements. And like we already know, for those of us that have joined this call for a long time, GSAI is a non-governmental organization that is aimed at creating, raising, training well-trained farmers, well-trained farmers and high-producing farmers. That's what GSAI is all about. And there was a time I dropped the link, the website link in the group. I'll drop that again right after this. Do well to click, go to our website, see what we do, know more about us. And there's a lot we are still doing. There's a lot of programs we are still doing. Even after the Better Farmers Training Project, we still have a lot of training and programs we will still do on it. Then also the Better Farmers Training Project is the plan is for us to have it in 3 batches, and this is just the first batch. So what's the goal and the aim of the Better Farmers Project? Better Farmers Project aim to create better farmers, not just more farmers in Nigeria. Not just that you woke up and you blessed with a parcel of land around you, or you're blessed to buy or purchase a large hectare of land, and you obviously go by the name of a farmer. But what makes you move? What makes you solve a problem? What makes you solve the agricultural problem in your community? What makes you solve the agricultural problem in your state and even nationally? You can, from this training, be that person. So, welcome to today's training. On the WhatsApp group, feel free to always reach out, feel free to always network. Um, the training materials, like we said, will always be dropped free of charge at the end of the training, and that will be on Saturday, 6th December. Many people do look forward to it. I kid you not, if you have not yet paid for a certificate, when you see the training materials, you rush and pay for it. It's really rich. The posts, they are really rich. So on the part of the certificate, if you have not yet paid for a certificate, believe me, is a rush hour. Yeah, when we get closer to the end of programs, it's always a rush hour. 5,000 naira, 8,000 naira won't cost you a lot compared to the value you've received here and compared to the value of the certificate you'll be getting. We dropped samples of the certificate some days ago, and I came to think about it that money is not the problem. The problem is the mindset. Most of us haven't yet understood how important this certificate is to our future. We've not yet understood the availability of the certificate. Most of us are thinking we need a hard copy certificate, but you have this certificate straight on your mail. If you travel out of Nigeria today or you travel out of the States and you didn't go into hard copy certificate and you go to another state and you need the Better Farmers Training Project certificate, you go to your mail, page Better Farmers Training Project, it comes up, you download it and make good use of it. So this is also another time to remind you that if you have not yet paid for a certificate, like you see on the group, people are paying. Your fellow participants are paying. They are paying for knowledge. They are donating to the project. They are donating into their future. Don't miss out. Sit tight, and I know that our facilitator today is going to blow our minds out. Well, thank you very much. So I'm now going to call on the facilitator without much ado. Take off from here. So put your hands together as I'm going to invite our facilitator. He's not a new person, not a new face in the building. He has been here with us for long. Can you put your hands together as we're going to call on him? Okay, thank you, Stella. Thank you, Stella. Put your hands together, everyone. So we're going to invite Mr. Ohazurike Lucky. So please take off from here. You're welcome, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good to hear from every one of us again today. Thank you for taking our time to be in the program today. It's not easy as we think it should be, but it's a good thing that you are here to partake in the training for today. We are still on IPM, Integrated Pest Management. So far, we have gone through Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, 4. We are now in Module 5. We have done the principles, we have done the pest identification, we have also gone through cultural, physical, mechanical control methods. We have also gone through biological methods. Today we'll be looking at chemical control and safe use of pesticide. So as usual, my thank you, Mr. Mark. As usual, slide 2, we'll be looking at the live practical assignment for participants. We'll look at it, you take a look while we continue so that while the presentation is going on, you'll be able to pick one or two things to answer the questions. Like I said before, there's no way you partake in this assignment that you will have any questions to ask. By the time you are done with assignment, you will be, you don't even have any question because you have solved a problem and you already know how to solve it. So there won't be too much of a concern. So please move to slide 2. Here we have our live practical assignment for participants. The technical team will copy it out and also paste in the WhatsApp so that people will have access to it while we move. So by the end of the presentation of this module, if you are done solving it, we will take out 5-10 minutes to solve it together. So slide 2, slide 3. You can see a diagram. Humans are the only species that spray food with poison so that other animals won't eat it and then go ahead and eat it themselves. We're talking about chemical control and safe use of pesticides. I also acknowledge the fact that most of you already know how to use your chemicals, know how to spray, know the actual pest control how to manage it. But I would like you to be patient with me. Let's go through this together. Slide 100. You will see a diagram where I tested something. I said humans are the only species that sprays food with poison so that other animals won't eat it and then go ahead and eat it themselves. It's self-explanatory. It shows what we do. We poison ourselves. Chemical control is the use of pesticide. In IPM, pesticides are used only when needed and in combination with other approaches for more effective long-term control. Pesticides are selected and applied in a way that minimize their possible harm to people, non-target organisms, and the environment. With IPM, you will use the most selective pesticide that will do the job and be safe for other organisms and for air, soil, water quality. Then you use pesticides in base station rather than spray it or spot spray or few weeks instead of an extra area. The control method is considered as the last resort in IPM. This method of chemical control is considered as the last resort in integrated pest management. It means that before you use the chemical control, you also consider pests, use the cultural method, use the biological method, use the mechanical method, use the physical method. Then when you have used all these other methods and they seem not to be working, then before you now use the chemical method. This group of integrated approaches applies natural or synthetic chemical substances to repel or eradicate pests. Biopesticides are natural repellents containing plant extract or oil, which is the safe option for humans, animals, or crops. Now, we ask the question, does integrated pest management use pesticides? Yes, but as a last call action in the integrated approach that must be used with great caution because pesticides can develop resistance. Synthetic substances are applied only when integrated pest management without chemical can't efficiently combat the invasion or when other options are impossible due to certain circumstances. This group, if all other methods have failed, monitoring shows that your pest population is still above your action threshold. Use mechanical methods. Mechanical methods such as sticky trap, biological control like pheromones, and parasitic insects. Then and only then should you consider spot treatment with least toxic pesticide. You must weigh the risk associated with the use of pesticide against the problem caused by the pest. Consider your options carefully. Be mindful not to blindly jump at a solution that may have risk without first collecting the parts. If you must use a pesticide, you should choose the least toxic pesticide available. The least toxic pesticide available. Remember, all pesticides are poisonous, designed to kill. They should be handled carefully, with respect, and according to their label. According to their label. Fear in the chemical misuse can destroy the natural balance, leading to more pest problems, health risks, and environmental damages. In IPM, chemicals are used last because they can create new and more serious problems if not managed carefully. Then they start to develop resistance. Pesticide resistance, most serious IPM fear, because we are considering the greatest fear in using chemical. Pesticide resistance. This is when pests stop dying because they get used to the chemical. They become stronger, harder to kill, and more expensive to control. Example, fallworm in maize becoming resistant to cypermethrin. When you use cypermethrin, we are still in the same slide. We are still in the same slide up slide 103. Take for instance, a fall armyworm in maize become resistant to cypermethrin. Tomato pest of total absoluta resistance to many insecticides, especially in Kanu and Kaduna. Weeds like speargrass resistance to glyphosate. Why is it feared? Once resistance develops, chemicals stop working permanently and yield crashes. You'll be applying more chemical above what you're supposed to apply, and at the end of the day, your yield will crash. It begins to kill your crops. What are under fear? The other fear, killing beneficial insects. When you start using too much of chemical, the fear is that chemical kills ladybirds, parasitic wasps, bees, predatory mites. Example, a farmer sprays poison of aphids, kills the ladybird too. Aphid multiply faster afterwards. After you have sprayed to kill aphid, and you didn't even look very well, and you are not killing the ladybird. At the end of the day, the ladybird will first die, then the aphid will multiply. So you are causing more harm than good. That is why, first of all, you have to consider cultural, physical, mechanical method before chemical method comes into play. Another fear is bigger outbreak than before. This is called pest resurgence. Another fear is that chemical residues will be on food. Residue remains on vegetables, on fruits, on meat and milk, especially when farmers spray close to harvest. Do not follow the pre-harvest interval. Apply higher than the recommended dose. Because most of our farmers, they don't even follow the label. They don't even follow the label. They just go and spray. When they spray, it becomes a problem. Another fear is environmental pollution. Chemical contaminated rivers, well, soil, air. Depending on the kind of chemical you use, most of them during runoff, during rainy season, there will be runoff, and all this is collected into a river. If the area that the river or the water is not much, and the villagers come there to fish, that will be prone to contamination. Another fear is human health risk. Farmers fear skin-borne, eye damage, breathing problems, poisoning, long-term effects like cancer, infertility, accidental poisoning of children. Of course, most of these chemicals are being made with high chemicals in a sense that are toxic to the health. Most of the people that are spraying in our villages, when you go, you see all these farmers, check their bodies. Some that are carrying knapsack, always carrying knapsack. Check their back. You will see lines of the effect that the chemical left on their body. Some of them, in the process of spraying, the thing enter their eye. The chemical enters their eye, and it becomes an issue. So I've seen people after spraying. Some villagers came and collected the bottles that was used. After they collected it, they didn't even wash it properly. They just put water and start drinking. This is poisoning, and as a result, it brings long-term effects. Cancer breeds, infertility starts. Another fear is misuse, the act of misusing it, leading to crop damage. Like somebody asked a question the other time. Somebody asked a question. Do I keep on spraying because the pest is there? Do I keep on spraying, or do I increase the dosage? The truth is, you can't keep increasing dosage because the pests are refusing to go or be controlled. The more you increase, it means that they are beginning to have resistance to the chemical or the pesticide you are using. So misuse of it leads to crop damage. I've seen a farmer that sprayed. After spraying, he's supposed to use a certain dosage, for instance 20 ml, and he's now using up to 80. So it means that at the end of the day, the thing start affecting the crops. Then another fear is high cost of dependency on chemical. Once pests become resistant or natural controls are gone, farmers need more. They will start looking for more chemicals, looking for stronger chemicals. You will see a farmer that comes to buy pesticide and will say, "Last year I used this one, it did not work. I want the one that is stronger than the one I used before. I've used this, it didn't work." So when you keep on doing that, keep on overusing and using more chemicals, they form resistance. Slide 104. Next slide. When we talk about, even if you are going to use chemical, use the least toxic pesticide. Use the least toxic pesticide. What are these least toxic pesticides? These are safer. They are pesticides that are safer, eco-friendly pest control products such as neem, BT, soaps, oil, or biofungi that kills pests without harming human, animals, or the environment. This list toxic pesticide includes boric acid and dizorum, then silica gel, etc. Then you ask the question, does integrated pest management use pesticide? Yes, but as a last call of action in the integrated approach. What are least pesticides? Least toxic pesticides. We have defined them. These are pesticides that are pest control products that cause minimum harm to humans, are gentle to the environment, protect beneficial insects. Important, protect beneficial insects, break down quickly, and are safe when used correctly. They are the preferred chemical option in IPM. Use only after cultural, mechanical, and biological methods. These pesticides are also called biopesticide, green pesticide, soft chemical, reduced risk pesticide. Example, neem extract. Neem extract controls aphid, it controls whitefly, it controls caterpillar, it controls mite, common on vegetable and maize. Why least toxic? Because it breaks down quickly. It has low residue, safe for human when used correctly. Why IPM prefer this pesticide? Next slide. Why? Why do IPM prefer this pesticide? The benefits and the reason. Safe for human, we've already said that. Low toxicity, low residue. It protects beneficial insects. Do not kill bees. It doesn't kill dead birds. It doesn't kill parasitoids. It's also environmental friendly. It's biodegradable. Less risk of resistance. Multiple modes of action. It's low cost and accessible. Many are locally made, like neem. Like the last time, I was also saying that I gave an example of a farmer that I helped using neem product, and it worked perfectly well. It's very, very cheap. If you have the neem tree around your farm, it's very, very cheap. You don't even need money apart from, you don't even need money to, for instance, apart from matches or lighter you're going to buy. You are going to use to on your light. That is the only thing you spend money on. What are these least toxic pesticides for plants? For easy references, we have them in the table here. Pesticide, type, source, next slide. Source, target pests, use and benefits is there. By the time we give you this presentation, you will be able to go through them and understand how these are important. We have the neem oil, we have a lot of them there. Plant extracts. It's target pests, usually aphid, whitefly, mites, caterpillar. Safe for beneficial insects, and it's also biodegradable. The term least toxic pesticide does not include pesticide that is determined by EAP to be possible, probably, or known to have carcinogen. The name least toxic pesticide is used primarily because it's safe to use, very, very safe to use. You also move into the next slide. You see another table. Least toxic pesticide commonly used for livestock in control of external and internal parasites. You can still see the neem oil is also recommended. Neem-based products, they are recommended because they have least, they don't affect human as long as you do it the way you're supposed to. You use it the way it's supposed to be used. Then we have the next slide. We have moderately toxic pesticide, commonly used in agriculture. Moderately. We have malaperon. It's an organophosphate. Also used for aphid, whiteflies, caterpillar. Effective but can harm beneficial insects. Moderate human toxicity. So there's no need to even use all this if we can use other least toxic pesticide. Next slide. We have highly toxic pesticide commonly used in agriculture. We have the chlorophyllos. Most people use it. We have DDT. Target pests, insects, aphid, caterpillar, beetle. If the neem products can solve the same problem that this chemical is made. So why don't we just go for this toxic pesticide? You see the use and catch. It's highly toxic to human and wildlife. Restricted use in many countries. Next slide. Practical table of the safest pesticide option for common crop pests, focusing on least toxic. Now let's look at some crops. We have tomato, we have maize, we have cotton, we have potato, we have eggplant, we have cabbage, we have fruit trees, we have rice. Major pests for tomato, aphid, whitefly, maize, caterpillar, armyworm, the rest are there. Safe pesticide option: neem, insecticide soap, and spinoside. Then it is least toxic, safe for beneficial insects. For maize, you see there, because they are all listed here. They are all listed here. All you need is just to take and let us at it. But please, while you are at it, don't forget to have an assignment that we have already placed, so that while this presentation is going on, this class is going on, you will find a way to solve the problem before we get to the end of the class. Next slide. Notes for IPM use: always prioritize least toxic option first. Always prioritize it. Use moderately toxic pesticide only when pest pressure is high. At most, use moderately toxic pesticide. Combine with cultural practices like crop rotation, resistant varieties, and the biological control for sustainable management. Next slide. Responsible use of pesticide. It's important that we keep on mentioning this. We keep on mentioning it because it's important. Responsible use of pesticide. Some people, they will, first of all, they don't even dress well. They don't even clothe themselves or wear PEP. They don't even use wares that are made for chemical control. They will just come to work, just wear ordinary slippers, no glove, no nose mask. They will just mount their gear and they will start spraying. They will even spray without considering the direction of wind. And immediately they start spraying without considering the direction of wind. See that the chemical spray comes to them, against them. And when it happens like that, they will breathe it in because they don't even have nose masks. Sometimes the nozzle of the nose mask will not even work well. And the next thing you see, in trying to adjust it, it pulls them on the leg. They're not even wearing the boots, just ordinary slippers. It pulls them on the leg. And when that thing continue, when you continue using it that way, you develop a problem. You don't even know where the problem is coming. I'm telling you that a test was done in my office of those people that are not even, they're not applicable, they're not operators, they're just supervisors. In the past 1 month, they have not been where they're spraying, but they have passed through where they're spraying. I can tell you that the result, when the result came out, it was even observed that they even have these heavy metals or heavy chemicals in their bloodstream, showing that if you're not wearing a proper wear for application, it will affect you. Next slide. Responsible use of pesticide. It covers the following: the hazards and risks posed by pesticide. How to manage the risk. Let's do it one after the other. Pest poisoning. Pest poisoning is harmful to health. It can also result in loss of work, like we have talked before, and income. Improper use of pesticide also lead to poor pest management and loss of yield. Impacts on the environment, such as destruction of beneficial organisms, can result in more pest problems. The most immediate risk is poisoning. It is important for farmers to understand that if pesticides are not handled properly, they can result in poison. Symptoms of pesticide poisoning. Pesticide poisoning occurs when a person or animal is exposed to harmful amount of pesticide through skin contact, inhalation, injection. It happens when the chemical interferes with normal body functions. Caused by improper handling, spraying, or storage of pests. Next slide, please. The symptom of poisoning depends on type of pesticide and exposure and can include skin irritation, reddening, itching, nasal, that's feeling sick, headache, muscle itching, sweating, feeling sick, coughing, burning of throat and lungs. Hi, have you ever considered why that at the end of each spray, professional will ask you to go and drink a cup of milk, a tin of milk, because it is harmful. No matter who you are, no matter how careful you are, a professional will tell you, after each spray, take a tin of milk. Key point. This poisoning caused by improper handling, spraying, or storage of pesticide. Symptoms include headache, like I said, dizziness, vomiting, sweating, breathing difficulty, eye irritation. Several causes may lead to convulsion, unconsciousness, or death. I've witnessed that. Prevention: use protective clothing. Follow label instruction. Avoid spraying in windy conditions. Wash after use and store pesticide safely. Where is pesticide enter the body? It enter the body through skin. Next slide. Enter the body through the skin, through the mouth, through the lungs, through the eye. Risk of pesticide can be minimized by handling and using pesticide safely. Using a less hazardous pesticide. Here are the ways pesticides enter the body. Example, through the skin. This is the most common route of pesticide entry. A farmer spray insecticide without glove. The chemical spills on the hands and is absorbed through the skin. Through the mouth, it happens. A worker eats cassava or fruit in the field without washing hands after mixing pesticide, leading to injection. It can also be through breathing, inhalation. Spraying herbicide in a greenhouse without a mask causes the person to inhale the chemical droplet, because after spraying, when you spray, as you are spraying, the droplets are still there. As you are moving around, if you are not wearing a nose mask, you inhale it. Through eye contact. While pouring pesticide into a knapsack sprayer, splashes enter your eye, causing burning and absorption. Label on pesticide. Labels on pesticides is what you have to also consider. Next slide. Okay, so label on pesticide. They're here. The pesticide label contains important information. So some people don't even look at the label anymore. When they buy chemical, they already know that they will say, oh, I will use 250. If it's a herbicide, for instance, they'll say I will use 250, or I will use a milk cover, and I will just pour it and mix it one time. Please and please, read the label. It's important. It's really, really important. The pesticide label contains important information on the nature of the pesticide, what it should be used for, and its proper and effective use, including the basic requirement of handling the product safely and the basic requirement of using the product safely. Pesticide labels are the legal instruction. They tell the user how to use the product safely and effectively. The label is legally binding. What a pesticide label includes. Example, it has a product name. It has an active ingredient. You will always see the active ingredient there. You will see the target pest. It's written. Some people will just, because it's pest, you don't even know what they're supposed to use the chemical for. You just buy it. People are using it. You go and use it for something that you're not supposed to use, but it's pesticide. When you open the label, you will see the crop approved for use. For example, like maize, tomato, cucumber, it will be labeled there. Direction of use. Example, maize 20 ml, 15 liters. Everything is explained in label. It's really important. Then even the safe precaution, they will even tell you, wear glove, masks during during application. Keep away from children or animals. In the label, you see first aid instruction, pre-harvest intervals. You have storage and disposal instruction. Some people, after spraying, they leave everything in their farm. And some of these people, nearby villagers, they will come there, pick it, and use it without even knowing that containers that they've not been properly washed. And they will use it and drink water. In summary, for the label pest, pesticide label guides the user on what the product is, how to apply it, how to protect themselves, and what to do in emergency. Following the label ensures safety for the applicator, the crop, consumers, animals, and the environment. The next slide, we are still on the label on pesticide. The label includes following information. We've already said all this. It includes product names, toxicity, and the hazard warning, safety precautions, etc. Application equipment. Next slide. Application equipment. Most smallholder farmers are likely to use hand-operated or motorized knapsack, backpack, sprayer. Choosing the right equipment is based on the following factors: choosing the correct nozzle, sprayer maintenance, calibration, mixing and loading, handling pesticides. Application. General rule. Next slide. General rule. Do not spray in strong wind or strong winds or rain. Apply early morning or in the evening when it is cooler. Do not spray in areas where the spray is likely to drift into water bodies, sensitive areas, or habitations. Spray to the side and walk upwinds so the spray blows away from you. Some people don't know this. They just want to finish. They can even finish 1 hectare of spray in 2 minutes. As long as they just collect the money for they are not patient. You ask them to come and spray for you. They will collect money of 3 days work and they will spray it in 30 minutes. Before you ask them, they say they are finished. So you have to be careful. Personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipment, which is PPE, it reduces risk of contamination from pesticide. We have gloves, we have overall, we have apron, we have boots, we have eye protection. We have goggle for eye protection. They use face shield, boots. Because most people, when they use this, when they want to spray, they are only wearing slippers. They don't even wear overalls. Apart from their trousers, their normal trousers they wear. Those spray, when you move and you're spraying, it touches your leg. No matter how you do, if you are not wearing boots, you're directly spraying it on your leg. And if you have applied a larger quantity or higher quantity of this pesticide, it will burn. It will burn your legs or your skin. Protective gear is important. We buy it for our farms, keep it. Overall, eye protection shield, nose mask is important. Nose mask, especially those that are spraying against the wind, or those that are spraying in greenhouse, where you after spraying before you even leave, the droplets are still hanging everywhere. They've not settled. They breathe it in. Having considered that, we move to development of pesticide resistance. Pesticide resistance occur when a pest population gradually becomes less affected or completely unaffected by a pesticide that's used to kill it effectively. This happens when and because some individuals naturally survive the pesticide, they reproduce and pass the resistant gene of their and pass the resistant genes to their offspring. Over time, the entire pest population becomes harder to control. Take for instance, even in your house, you keep on spraying a particular insecticide or pesticide you usually buy in the market. At a point, it doesn't even kill the cockroach. It doesn't even kill the mosquito anymore. You come after people that same day, the next morning, in the middle of the night, that mosquito is everywhere, disturbing your life. It happens. I have seen these two breeds of cockroach, the big ones and those small tiny ones. You use an insecticide for them, like normal insecticide you're using every time. After using it, you see they don't even kill. They can kill the big ones, they don't kill the small ones because they have developed resistance and they have passed those resistance gene to their offspring. So we just have to be careful. Over time, how resistance develop? Simple step. Pesticides applied to a pest population. Example: a farmer spray pyrethroid insecticide on a armyworm. Most pests die, but a few natural resistant individuals survive. After spraying pesticide on fallworm, you notice that 2 to 3% of the fallworm may have genes that allow them to tolerate those pesticides. Surviving pesticides produce and pass the resistant traits to their young ones. Repeated and excessive use of that same pesticide increases the level of the resistance. So that's why the point you now break and use a different active ingredient that work perfectly. Then we move to the next slide. We also see using non-pesticide crops and pest management practices for all types of pests, insect, mites, weeds, disease, and so on. Using pesticides that target the most susceptible stages. Applying pesticide according to the dose rate on the label. Using genuine products. I could remember most farmers at the point they were complaining that most of the chemicals they are buying, most of the pesticides, they are not even genuine. You don't even know one that is genuine anymore. Because most people are now mixing a lot of things in their backyard and bringing out for farmers to buy. Farmers will buy. They must buy. As long as they reduce the money in a way that attracts them, they will buy and they will spray. If you're not using a genuine product, believe me, even if you're using the lowest quantity, it still affect the crops. If it still affect the crops, it still affect the pest. The pest will develop strong resistance. Next slide. Pests that develop resistance include armyworm, whitefly, ticks, mosquitoes, weeds like amaranthus. Pesticides they develop resistance to pyrethroid. Example in the region in Africa, Nigeria and Ghana, this armyworm develop resistance too quick. Whitefly in vegetable feed globally. Ticks, livestock farm in West Africa, especially mosquitoes, malaria endemic regions. Nigeria is included. Weeds like amaranthus. You keep on using glyphosate, Roundup. At the end of the day, you see that they're not effective on them. Few example: tomato farmer use lumber every week to control white flies. At first, the chemical works very well. After some months, he noticed white flies no longer die easily. Infestation becomes several. Even increasing the dose does not help. Reason: the whitefly has developed resistance due to repeated exposure to the same active ingredient. Next slide. Resistance management strategy. 1. Integrated pest management, good application practice, use of correct pesticide dose, use good quality, genuine pesticide, good quality and genuine pesticide, calibrate and maintain the application equipment, molds to site of action, rotation, double heat strategy, preservation of susceptible insects. How to prevent resistance? Resistance. Rotate pesticide with different mode of action, like I have said. Use biological control, ladybird, parasitol, fungi. Use cultural practice, crop rotation, sanitation, resistant varieties. Avoid unnecessary or frequent spraying. Follow label instruction and recommended dose. Mode or site of action, MOA, rotation. This means changing pesticide that kills pests in different ways so that pests do not become resistant. Each pesticide affects a pest through a specific biological target. Each pest, such as nerves, the muscle, the growth, the digestion. When you keep using one mode of action repeatedly, pests quickly develop resistance. But when you rotate mode of action, pests have less chances to adopt. Why mode of action rotation is important? It prevents or delays pesticide resistance. Keep pesticide effective for longer. Reduce cost of pest control over time. Protect beneficial insects. Support integrated pest management. Example, a farmer uses pyrethroid, that's a lumber, every week, like we said. Pyrethroid all have the same mode of action. They attack insect nerves only. They attack insect nerve only. If you keep using it, animals stop dying, population become resistant, damage increases. Next slide. You can see we're still talking about mode of action. This is an armyworm. This is a pest. You can see where there are. It shows the target where the chemical hits the most. You can see the feeding, the mouth. You see the nerves. You see the growth development multi. You can see the spiritual. You can see the reproduction. You can see the digestive. These are the chemical hit them. They are likely going to die. Mode of action here refers to how the pesticide kills, affects, or disables a pest inside its body. In other words, mode of action is the exact way a chemical or biopesticide works to stop a pest. Different pesticides kill pests in different ways. Some affect the nerves, others affect growth, others affect feeding, breathing, or digestion. Understanding the mode of action helps farmers rotate chemical, avoid resistance, choose the right product for the pest. Next, to rotate mode of action, the farmer can switch to. You can see first one, spray round, prototype, mode of action group, how it works. First spray, the person sprayed, farmer sprayed pyrethroid. It falls in A. Then the target or how it works, it hits the nerves. It hits the nerves. Second spray, you are using spinosad, it falls into 5. It's nicotinic. You use the third spray, chloride channel activator. All these things, this break the cycle of resistance development. We are trying to explain this, showing that you are using rotation, you are using almost the same kind of chemical, but different active ingredients to fight the same pests that are, so that they will not develop resistance. This breaks the cycle of resistance development because pests are never exposed to the same action repeatedly. Another example, a rice farmer uses glyphosate. Next slide. A farmer right farmer uses glyphosate, the mode of action is using like to clear weeds before planting. After many seasons, weeds do not die well anymore. Resistance has developed. Now you can see season 1, season 2, season 3. Herbicide, mode of action, how it works. Initially they were using glyphosate and they noticed that it's not working, not effective anymore. Then the next year, you don't need to use glyphosate anymore because those drugs they have already developed resistance. You use a different chemical that have active ingredients, different active ingredients. Then the next year you use another one. You can see they rotate it, then you have to use atrazine. Rotating herbicide prevents weed resistance. Just like nerves and muscle action, most commonly used mode of action. These pesticides affect the pest nervous system. They cause paralysis, convulsion, inability to move or feed, then death for the pest. You can see a table using the Nigeria as our study. You see the pesticide, mode of action, what it does, what it used for. Cepromatrin, it disrupts the nervous system for the pest. It causes paralysis immediately, especially fallworm, maize, and armyworm. Chlorofurious. Then you see it affects the neuron. It stops nerve passage, so it disorients it. Example: termite and aphid. Lumber, it causes paralysis, so that the pest cannot move or feed. It doesn't feed, it dies, especially in vegetables and caterpillars. Next slide. Growth regulators. These are also mode of action. These stop pests from growing normally. They affect their molting metamorphosis, egg development, larva to pupa stage. Pesticide and mode of action, what it does, and what it's used for. They are all here. It is being noted that these growth regulators, they do not kill immediately, but they stop the pest from growing. Pest dies, well, it will not die during the next month. Anything that habits somebody from, so habits any pest from growing, then is the next stage is just dying. They die off. The population will be. Then we'll have the feeding and digestion blockers. These pesticides make pests stop feeding or force or fail to digest food. When you spray these chemicals on them, they will not feed anymore. Or when they feed, they will not be able to digest. They will be forced to die, and therefore the population will also be reduced. You can see the emamectin. You can see it blocks muscle contraction and feeding. The larva stop eating immediately. It's used for fallworm in maize. Crops where these brands are commonly used, I see them in maize, tomato, pepper, vegetables, cowpea. Then we look at the principal respiratory action. These pests work by blocking breathing or drying out the pest. Just like yeah. So we have products. We have oil, horticultural oil. We have what's the mode of action? It blocks insect suffocates. insect suffocates. When you use soap, not any kind of soap, when you use it, it breaks insects' outer covering, loses water and die. Vegetable farmers in Plateau and Kaduna use neem oil and soap spray to suffocate whiteflies and aphids. Most of the times, when you want to spray on vegetables like that, it's not just about using the neem. Sometimes uh, you are, you apply a little bit of soap, small soap, that is detergent or liquid soap, a little bit of it to suffocate the whiteflies. Most of the neem, because it's oil, when you spray it on the pest, they will not they will find it difficult to breathe. It will cut off their breathing. Therefore, they will just die off. 5. The microbial mode of action. That's a biopesticide. This involves microorganisms specific mode of actions with specific mode of action. You can see Bacillus T, that's the BT. It produces toxin in larva guts. What does it do? The larva stops feeding and dies. You can see big fungal penetration. Fungus grow inside the insect. The result is death to them. So in Kano and Bauchi, BT is used for fowl, we call armyworm. You can see the arrow. The arrow starts, then you see the fowl armyworm. When they eat the BT, their guts ruptures and the larva dies. Example in livestock, tick. Next slide. Tick. A cattle farmer uses amitraz over and over. The tick becomes resistant. He should rotate. When he rotates, you will see the treatment 1, treatment 2, treatment 3. You see the acaricide, you see the mode of action, the amitraz. You can see the cypromachine. Then the next one. If you don't rotate it, they all develop resistance. That is what we are trying to avoid. Because when you develop that resistance, it becomes an issue. You cannot even you spend more money. Then somebody will start telling you that somebody is after you. It's after your farms or your pets. Why is just something that should avoid prevented on time? This helps restore tick control. Tick control, the amitraz interferes with tick nervous system. It paralyzes tick immediately. The ivermectin affects nerve transmission. It paralyzes and death immediately. Organic pest control. We have our organic pest control. Organic pest control refers to the use of natural, non-synthetic method to manage pests. In our previous, where we talked about, in our previous modules, we also mentioned all this. Organic pest control refers to the use of natural, non-synthetic method to manage pests. It focuses on biological, botanic, and cultural approaches that protect crop without relying on chemical pesticides. It supports health, environment, soil quality, beneficial organisms, and long-term sustainability. Main approach: biological control using the organic pests. Biological control. This uses living organisms to reduce pest population. Example that we talk: ladybird, then wax, botanical pesticide, plant-based extract, neem extract, pyrethrum. Also, cultural practice where we have crop protection, weeding, etc. Where you have to use mechanical, you have hand picking, yellow stick traps, netting. Then organic home-based made. Here you have garlic plus pepper extract, soap solution, like we have tomato leaf spray. It is effective in killing aphid and mites. It works because the alkaloid in the tomato leaves are fertile to many insects. Garlic oil spray is a great safe insect repellent. Simply put three to four cloves of minced garlic into two teaspoons of mineral oil. Let the mixture sit. Then, when you apply it, it works. The mixture works because the compound in garlic, namely dialyl, are irritating or deadly to many insects. We also have the resistant or tolerant varieties, using natural strong crop varieties that pests cannot easily attack. Example, our local okra variety that tolerates leaf breaking. Indigenous cassava variety with resistance to cassava blight, bacterial blight. Then we have hot pepper spray. We also have red pepper spray. Hot pepper spray is a great solution if you have problems with mites. Simply mix 2 tablespoons of hot pepper sauce or a few drops of biodegradable dish soap, 1 quart of water, and let it sit overnight. Use a spray bottle to apply the spray to infected plants. It takes care of it, and it's not synthetic chemical. It's just organic. It doesn't have residue. Then we move to, we also see our poultry. We use insecticides selectively to avoid killing beneficial organisms. There are things we consider: space spray, baits, bats, feed additive, and herbicides. Residual spray materials must be used sparingly and only as a last resort to control fly outbreak that cannot be managed with other techniques. That is, if you use other techniques and it works, there's no need to use any stronger chemical. Predatory resistance, next slide. Predatory resistance in stable fly has been documented in several countries, especially the United States, Africa. So if other chemicals, if other organic pesticides you are using, you have produced, can solve the problem, there's no need to use chemicals. These synthetic chemicals that can even harm environment, can even result to the death of your livestock. Next slide. The economics of integrated pest management. An integrated pest management program can be successful only if reduce costs on control measures or increase crop yield, or both, and also reduce environmental pollution and health hazard. We have throughout these modules we have been saying it. There's no need increasing your cost of production as a farmer. How can you make money? How can you make money? If pesticide keep on buying like 10 bottles for a smaller space how much now is pesticide? Pesticide is really between 6,000 to up to 15, 20, depending on the grade at the time. Then you buy it and start using it. It adds to your cost of production. You've not even paid the person that will apply it. By the time you join all these costs, you have reduced the cost of production. The cost of production is high. What has changed? Next slide. What has changed? Knowledge gap. Knowledge gap may have changed, but they still exist and always will. Example, does spraying a fungicide on corn that has no disease symptom produce an economic benefit? It's a very serious question. Somebody will just go and use because they want to spray, he will decide to spray. Or he saw something that thinks he doesn't know what it is. You now carry fungicide and start spraying that has no disease or symptom. Most farmers, but some farmers do that. When you, the cost of even buying fungicide is another thing. It adds to your cost of production. There have always been a gap in knowledge. That is the nature of farming. We will never know everything. So take steps to learn every chances you can, especially learning from others that have to make similar decisions. Does spraying a fungicide on corn with no disease symptom produce an economic benefit? Very short answer. No. Unusually no. Spraying fungicide before any disease appear often does not give an economic benefit because the crop may not develop disease at all, meaning the money spent on the fungicide is wasted. You're adding to your cost of production. Economic benefit comes only if the disease pressure is high enough that yield would have been lost without spraying. Example, a maize farmer plants hybrid corn. He considers spraying a fungicide at the seed stage, that's six leaf stage, even though there is no leaf spot, rust, blight, or any fungal disease. The weather is dry. Field has no history of any disease problem. Outcome, he spends 10,000 naira per hectare on fungicide. Plus labor, the maize does not develop disease later in the season. Yield stays the same whether he spray it or not. No economic benefit. He loses money because the spray was unnecessary. When spraying may give benefits. A farmer plants corn in a high humidity area with a history of northern corn leaf blight. It has dense planting, continuous maize cropping. The weather forecast shows 7 days of rainfall. In this case, spraying a fungicide at BT stage before symptom becomes obvious can protect you because disease pressure is expected to be high. Don't forget, weather forecast shows 7 days of rain. Economic benefit occur only when disease risk is high. Please try as much as possible to consider low risk, low disease risk, plus no symptom, no economic benefit. High disease risk plus favorable condition for infection result to preventive spraying may pay off. Low disease risk plus no symptom, no benefits, no economic benefits. You are adding cost to your production, your cost of production. But high disease risk plus favorable condition for infection result to preventive spraying, it may pay off. I would like us to go back to the slide 99. Here we have our assignment. We have gone through these modules. The important thing is, if possible, do not use pesticide. If you are going to use least toxic pesticide or organic pesticide, if possible. Then, having gone through these modules, we already have this assignment. I would like us to, if you like, give you some time to look at it again and come up with a solution. Let's look at it. Assignment scenario 7. You are managing a 1 hectare pepper farm facing armyworm, thrips, whitefly. Task 1. Identify IPM step-by-step tactical response. 2. Identify one safe selective pesticide for each. 3. Classify each pesticide by mode of action. 3. Design a 7-day tactical spray plan following the IPM. Show calculation for how much pesticide is needed for 1 hectare. Provide 5 safe measures you will enforce before, during, and after spraying. If you are following, this is very, very easy. It's the same thing that we went to repeat. So we give us some time, few more minutes, then we run through it. I would like every one of us to participate in this scenario. I will read it again. Scenario 7 assignment. You are managing a 1 hectare pepper farm facing armyworm, thrips, whiteflies. Identify the IPM step-by-step tactical response. Identify one safe selective pesticide for each pest. Classify each pesticide by mode of action. Design a 7-day tactical spray plan following IPM. Show calculation for how much pesticide is needed for 1 hectare. Provide five safety measures you enforce before, during, and after spray. If you have a solution in any of the tasks, don't wait to complete it. Let's discuss it. Are you there? Is Joshua here? Emmanuel, I'm waiting for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very, very much, sir. Please, to our participants, I hope we have begun work. Even those on YouTube, I hope you are seeing the assignments and you've begun something. Please. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I encourage us to go ahead.
There is no pass or fail. You just attempt it because it's important to attempt it. These are the things that we face in our farms every time and every day. If you are working in a big farm now, nobody wants to employ somebody that cannot think or articulate a way to solve problems. That's the reason for this class, integrated pest management, so that you'll be able to recommend and advise properly. When you pass through all these scenarios that we present and you understand them at the tip of your hands, it works like miracle. Few more minutes, then I'll run through. Okay, one more minute. What's going on? I'm waiting. All right, we are looking at the tactical IPM scenario. This is advanced, unlike the ones we have been working on since. This scenario is a little bit advanced. We are looking at the sweet pepper farm facing mixed pest outbreak. That's the first thing that will come into your mind. You look at it. It's not just one pest. You have mixed pest outbreak. Fall armyworm, thrips, whitefly. The farm size is 1 hectare. 1 hectare. It's greenhouse plus open field. Then the stage, the plant is already flowering and fruits setting in. The problem, sudden mixed pest outbreak during a rainy week. This is a kind of complex situation farmer really face. Sudden mixed pest outbreak during a rainy week. The challenge, during the rainy week, fall armyworm damages young shoots, thrips, scars, flowers, and spread virus. Whitefly causes soot smooth, humidity is high, fungal infection begins. Beneficial insects have reduced due to heavy rain. The farmer is now confused. The farmer is now confused. Do I spray everything at once? Which pesticide works for which pest? Will tank mix cause problems? Will it harm my pollinators? This is the perfect opportunity to demonstrate IPM-based tactical chemical use. Number one, identify step-by-step tactical response. Step one, scouting and threshold decision. Chemical control in IPM is triggered by threshold, not panic. During scouting, forewarn is observed 5 to 10% infestation. Is it above threshold? Trip is 8 to 10 per flower. Is it above threshold? Whitefly 30 to 50 per leaf. Is it above threshold? Chemical control. If it's above threshold, chemical control is justified, but must be selective and strategic as possible, least toxic pesticide. Step 2, pesticide selection using the IPM principle. Use a three-way decision rule. 1, choose the most target-specific pesticide to avoid killing natural enemies. 2, choose lowest toxicity formulation, preferably emulsifiable concentrate, EC. Avoid if possible. Use SC, WG, SL formulation is safer. Avoid EC. Avoid EC. 3, rotate mode of action to prevent resistance. Then select pesticide for armyworm. Avoid mixing 3 to 4 pesticides. Only mix if compatible and label approved. Step 3, pre-spray safety demonstration. A worker enters the chemical store without PPE. What is wrong? What is wrong? Without proper gears, without shield, eye shield, without nose mask, something is wrong. Like we said earlier, full PPE requires glove, long sleeve overall, nose mask or respirator, goggles, rubber boots, apron. 90% of poisoning cases occur during mixing. Skin absorb pesticide droplets. Poor storage lead to accidental poisoning. Correct mixing and calibration. Give them when you're about to mix, you have to consider your sprayer size, utiliters, recommended rate, 10 ml per 15 liter, farm area, you have 1 hectare, sprayer cover, 300 meters per tank. Then you calculate 1 hectare is equivalent to 10,000 meters square. 10,000 meters square divided by 300 gives you 34 tanks. 34 tanks times 10 ml gives you around 340 ml of product needed for the day. When you do that, you've already known what to mix. Then, step 5, smart spray strategy. Spray time, early morning, avoid flowering hour to protect pollinators, avoid windy period. Spray direction, start from upwind down to downwind. Spray on the side of leaves where pests hide. The spray order, treat hot spot first, then uniform field coverage. Keep 2 to 3 meters buffer near beehive or waterways. Step 6, post-spray IPM actions. Explaining this works perfectly well. Keep it, why? Because it keeps workers out of field until re-entry interval. That's post-spray IPM action, because we said we should design a 7-day spray plan following the use of IPM. It keeps workers out of field until re-entry interval. Dispose wash water in a pit, not stream. Wash your gears, wash everything, your uniform, your Watch them separately. Record chemical use, the batch, date, and mode of action. Record it. In IPM, chemicals are the last tools, not the first tools. But when used, they must be precise, targeted, and safe. Are you there? Is somebody there? So I have run through the tasks. We have identified the IPM step by step. We have also identified one safe selected pesticide for each. We have also classified each pesticide by mode of action. We have also designed 7-day tactical spray plan. We have also showed calculation for how much pesticide is needed for 1 hectare. Some people or some of the farmers don't even know how many pesticides we need per hectare. Somebody will say use 7, use 8, use 4, use 5, but it's well calculated. Remember, if you know the area you're planting, you already know the number of knapsack you're going to use. Then, when that is done, so that you not even use more chemicals and add to the cost of production. And too much of chemical, we know, kills even beneficial organisms and pests. Don't forget, in IPM, chemicals are the last tools, not the first. But when used, they must be precise, they must be targeted, and they must be safe. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for taking your time during this class today.
Thank you very, very much, sir. Can we put our hands together for our facilitator? Can we tell him thank you? Ah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you very much, sir. Today's class has been
Thank you
nothing
so
short
much,
of
sir.
engaging. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Educative, inspiring. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. For those of us on YouTube, can you say thank you in the chat box? Can you say thank you in the chat box? Can you put in something in the chat box? Thank you very, very much, sir. While he was speaking, something stood out for me. Something stood out for me. He said chemical control should be the last resort. Wow. Wow. And you know, each time we talk about IPM, integrated pest management, one thing that will come to our mind most importantly is chemicals. He also said that did you know that some pests can develop resistance to chemicals? I'll take a little example from here. When we were growing up, when we were little, it was believed that if you there's how you could do something too much of everything becomes a problem. Too much of everything becomes a problem. So pests can even develop resistance to chemicals. That said, before this class, if you missed other sessions, please go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and learn from them. You could see him talk about other ways to manage pests. Can we put our hands together again for a fast later? Then also, he also said that the pests, the chemicals, can kill the beneficial insects, and the residues of the chemicals can remain on food, especially when they are sprayed close to the plant. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. There was a quote that he said at the beginning of the class that really, really, it really resonated with me. It was a quote he said. Let me try to present that quote. And we're going to start from here on our questions. So he said that humans are the only species that sprays food with poison so that other animals won't eat it and then go ahead to eat it themselves. Dear better farmers, question: are you part of these humans? It's right about time that we are going to go to our question session, question and answer session. Thank you very much to our facilitator for today for doing such a great job. We are very, very grateful. Thank you very much, sir. So, down to the question session. If you are on YouTube and you have a question, please do put your question in the chat box in the live chat, and the question will be read and will be responded to. Please. Then, for those of us that are here on Google Meet, do put in your questions in the chat box. Then I saw some questions in the chat box, so I'm going to start with that. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to call on some people that have questions to answer verbally. And what they're going to do is that you unmute, you tell us your name, tell us where you're journey from, you say some words of thanks to the facilitator, and then you ask a question. Are we good with that? Can I see an emoji if you're good with that? All right. Question number one. Hello, sir. We have a
I'm here.
question from Hajara Mohammed. She says, good evening. Can a woman spray pesticide on her farm?
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. We are the question now is, does your culture permit you to do that? I don't want to go against other people's belief, but generally in agriculture, the best way to even reduce your cost of production is to do these things yourself. You understand? If you're a woman and you keep on paying between 20 to 30,000 for somebody to spray in a very um, close space like this, it doesn't want it. So women spray in the farm. They have groups of women that 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 spray chemicals. You have woman farmers. Right now, it's not about whether your culture permits it or not. As long as you do every farm practices to reduce your cost of production. Sometimes you will even wait for the operator or for the person that will apply. They will not even come. Then you are left with carrying your knapsack and spray. As long as you wear your gear, cover yourself properly, cover the all part of the body, long sleeve, wear glove, nose mask, cover your hair, wear boots, and long trousers. Then you can spray. There's nothing wrong with women spraying this.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Hajara Muhammad, I do hope you are here on the call and you've heard that. Thank you very much, sir. Please, if you have questions and you're on this call, feel free to drop it in the chat box. And if you're joining us from YouTube, feel free to drop it in the live chat. We have a question, sir, from Nasivi Hazan Tahi. He said, please, you once said something human are the only species that spray. I need more highlights. One said
Well,
something. Humans are the only species that spray. I need more highlights.
well, if you are watching, you are seeing this slide. It's not just you read it down, read the complete um, phrase. He said, "Humans are the only species that spray food with poison, so that other animals won't eat it, and then go ahead and eat it." It's true. You're a farmer. You cannot see a rabbit spraying chemical. You cannot see a cow spraying chemical on the grass. It's only us because we are having problem with pests. We're having problem with pests, and when we apply so too much dosage on the crops, we still go back and eat them or sell it to people. It's self-explanatory. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you very, very much, sir.
In fact, that's the reason why we are encouraging our farmers that chemicals should be the last resort. Chemicals should be the last resort. Even if you want to use the least toxic, use the least toxic pesticide that does not have residue, because it's residue that has an effect to human that consumes it. Thank
Wow. I'm very sure, if I could estimate correctly, 20% of us in this class didn't know that there's something called non-toxic pesticide. And I'm number one. Thank you very much for that knowledge, sir. So on YouTube, we have a question. We have two questions for now. So the first question is from Bukola Comfort Adeniji. And Bukola Comfort Adeniji, sir, says, is there a specific organic schedule for pest control? Is there a specific organic schedule for pest control?
Organic schedule or organic pesticide.
She's writing organic schedule.
Well, if I understand the question, I would like to break it down like as long as it's organic pesticide you are using. That's why we are trying to develop our own IPM plan. The next class shows us how to develop this plan. The next module, which is last module, shows us how to develop this plan. You can develop the plan on the first step, what to do, which organic pesticide to use, the next schedule, maybe a week later or maybe within the week. But organic pesticides are safer to use.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much, sir. We have another question from Bukola Comfort Adeniji again. So, sir, Bukola Comfort Adeniji once again asked, if you are already using chemical pesticide, can you switch to IPM/organic control midway cultivation? If you are already using chemical pesticide, can you switch to IPM/organic control midway cultivation?
Thank you, Comfort. The question now is, why are you switching over? Where are you stopping? Is it that the pests have developed resistance? If the pests have developed resistance, the first thing you have to do is stop completely from using the chemical you are using. Then you can now introduce other IPM principles. You can now use organic pesticide. You can now even use cultural control. You can now even use physical control. You can even use biological control. But if you did not consider this and you jump first to chemical and you start using chemical, if they have developed resistance, you have to stop. That's the first thing. Stop the use completely first. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you very, very much, sir. All right, it's right about time. I'm going to allow us to unmute our mics and speak. We want to allow us to unmute our mics and speak. So please, if you have a question, a specific question, remember the rules and the guidelines. Like I said, you unmute, you tell us your name, tell us the state you're calling from, say a word of thanks to the facilitator, and then you ask a question. If you have a question, please, you could just raise your digital hand, and I'm going to call your name and allow you to speak. So if you have a question, you could please raise your digital hand. If you are still on YouTube and you have a question, still feel free to ask it in the chat box in the live chat, and like you've heard, it will be responded to. Do we have anyone that wants to unmute and speak? Just raise your digital hand and you will be given the floor. Do we have anyone? Should I say go in? Go in? Do we have anyone going? All right, gone. Don't mind me for that. If you still have a question, feel free to raise your digital hand and you'll be given the opportunity. Thank you very much, our facilitator, for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining the call. Today has been another day to learn. It's been another day in our practice and our promise of this training to raise and well trained and high producing data farmers, and not just more farmers. We have come to the end of today's training. We are pending questions. I'd love to give you announcements as the project officer. Like I had already given some other times ago, for those of us that have joined the call, and also for those of us that joined the call early. These training materials from our both facilitators, both the IPM and the digital agriculture, will be shared for free at the end of the training. And feel free to network. Feel free to network in this training. Don't just come to Better Farmers training and meet other farmers and go like that. So I think I saw a time when someone asked on the WhatsApp group if anyone has fresh eggs, and another person said, "Oh, I have eggs, but I'm going to make them fresh." And I said, "Okay, enter my DM." Sales was made. So you're on this call. You have feel free to network professionally. Ensure to join all the training sessions. Thank God for technology. If you missed any training session, head on to our YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and watch them for free. Then remember that no admin will send you any message or invite you to any other training or any other meeting or ask you for any other personal details. Please be very careful. Be very, very careful. Then feel free to reach out to me, McDonald. Should you have any question you want to ask the facilitator, you have any concern, feel free to reach out to me. My DM will always be open. And like I said in the beginning, we're getting to the rush hour and the closing session of the training. If you're not yet got your certificate, this would be a good time to do that. This would be a good time to get your certificates. So let me, for those of us that we had already sent this on the group, but let me share the screen of samples of the certificates for those of us that might not have come across it. So these will be samples of the certificate that you will be getting, and you definitely do not need to miss it. Okay, here are the samples. This is a sample of the certificate. This is how a certificate will look like. Have a training code. Have a training code. You have your name there. You have. This is a training for IPM, Integrated Pest Management in Crop and Animal Farms. We also have a sample for the digital agriculture. Okay. So if these are the samples, you've not yet paid, ensure to do that. And I noticed also that most people would think that the issue with them is money. But I would say that the issue is not money, but the issue is what you think is important to you. We're getting to the end of today's session. What do you think is important to you? I thought about something today. What could be your Christmas gift to yourself as you're entering the new month and obviously the new year? Would you just end the new this year and begin 2026 just like that? Or would you, as you have already committed to learning, you go ahead? Now, another thing that we should know is that another very important way you could raise funds and raise money for this is you have ministers of agriculture in your states. You could form a community. If you have someone from your community that's on this call, you go meet the minister of agriculture, share, with the person, tell the person that, oh, sir, we have attended this training from November 18th till now. We have learned a lot in IPM and we have learned a lot in digital agriculture. Here are the lessons we have learned. We've learned about farm mapping, we learned about chemical control, we've learned about a lot. We need to get the certificates, and your office can help us do that. If you need an official letterhead from GSAI, reach out to me. GSAI will send you an official letterhead, and you do that and get it. Like a proverb always say, there are many ways to do many things. So, dear better farmers, we have come to the end of today's training. I haven't yet seen anyone that's asked any other question. Oh, we have a hand. We have a hand. Okay, this will be the first and the last hand before we close for today. So please, Babangida, you would unmute, tell us your name, tell us the state you're calling from, say a word of thanks to the facilitator, and then you ask a question.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Babangira Ibrahim. I'm communicating from Jigawa right now, from my office. I have to say thanks for the facilitators, for the fellow members, listeners, and then the other people. So I want to ask a question about what you have talked about the certificate right now. My question goes toward like this. So if to say I have communicated with one of our local directors, or to say our agricultural director in our own areas, then she asked for something about what is where our office or our location of this community, of this organization is like, or where he is headed to. I don't know what to say about it, but which answer am I supposed to give him? If to say I communicated with you and you gave me a backup letter, I submitted to him. If he asks me about the office, where am I going to answer the question like office is located in so position, also so direction? Sir, I hope my question is clear too. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very, very much for that question. Thank you very, very, very much for that question. So I had already shared the organization website to us on the WhatsApp group, and I'm going to share that again. So the organization website is going to let us to know more about GSAI. But if I was say on the call, the head office of GSAI is number 2, Petersburg Road, off Amino Kano Way, Wuse 2, Abuja. You heard that right. So it's in Abuja. So that's where our head office is. And even on the official letter-headed paper that we will give to you, it will contain our address also. Mr. Babangida, please have I attempted your question?
Yes, you have attended my. Thank you for everybody. May God bless us, everybody.
Thank you very, very much. Should you have any other questions, Mr. Babangida? Should anybody on this call have any other questions, you have a trouble, feel free to reach out to me on the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much once again, Better Farmers, for today. Thank you for today's training. Thank you, Mr. Hazuriki Rocky. Thank you, Mrs. Omolala, for being on the call also. Thank you to every participant for today. As we wind up and we get close to the end of the training, remember the question we had at the beginning. As the Better Farmers training progresses and finishes, will I become a better farmer? Thank you and bye-bye. It's 6 o'clock.